Mr Deputy Speaker, I rise in support of the Criminal Proceeds Confiscation, Unexplained Wealth and Serious Drug Offender Confiscation Order Amendment Bill of 2012, a bill that reinforces our government's unwavering commitment to being tough on crime. And Mr Deputy Speaker, I'm not sure that I can add the same sort of theatre to the chamber this evening as we've seen from the member for Nicklin, but I'll certainly do the best I can. Channeling? He was channeling Clive Palmer. I'll take that interjection from the AG. But Mr Deputy Speaker, 2 weeks ago I rose in this House to support a bill to introduce some of Australia's toughest anti-hooning laws and crack down on those terrorising our roads, laws that were subsequently passed by this parliament. Last year this government also introduced legislation increasing penalties for child sexual offenders and more recently new laws to target offenders who groom children online for sexual activities. And Mr Deputy Speaker, today I'm proud to stand and rise in support of a bill that introduces tough new legislation targeting criminals in this state who seek to profit from illegal activity and serious drug offences. Mr Deputy Speaker, the Newman government made a promise to the people of Queensland before the election, and that promise was that we would get tough on crime. And this legislation is further evidence of our commitment to deliver on this promise. This bill delivers on the LNP's pre-election commitment to introduce unexplained wealth orders and toughen drug trafficking laws. At a local level on the Gold Coast and in my electorate of Southport, I believe it's important we send this strong message to drug traffickers and other offenders who are motivated by the quick and easy tax-free financial benefits of criminal activity. These challenges are faced by lawmakers and police all around Australia, and you don't have to look far from home to just see how some of these illegal activities are played out to the significant disadvantage of our young people and families as some of these operators function around nightclubs and some of the other less savoury venues on the Gold Coast. But this legislation allows us to get tougher on gangs and groups who seek to operate in criminal networks. So it's important we continue to make it harder for these groups to carry out their illegal activities. Bikie gangs on the Gold Coast have been known to foster sophisticated networks for drug trafficking and other illegal activities. This legislation introduces a framework to allow the police, on reasonable suspicion that individuals have been involved in serious criminal activities, to demand proof of their legitimacy of all assets. This bill targets those offenders who profit from criminal activity, significantly increasing the potential risk of becoming involved in such activity or further activity. The Attorney-General has noted that would-be criminals have to consider that their involvement may end up costing not only their illegally obtained assets, but importantly also their legally obtained assets. Is that a risk that they would be willing to take? Mr Deputy Speaker, this government's commitment to getting tough on crime is clear. Indeed, one of my own priorities for the electorate of Southport is law and order, and I'm proud to be part of a government that's delivering on these priorities. In Southport, I've reignited the old Southport Consultative Committee, abandoned by the previous Labor member, and I'm working now closely with the Southport Chamber of Commerce, the Southport Police and other community groups to foster ongoing engagement with the community on a whole range of law and order issues. And I'm really pleased that out of our first meeting we've had some incredibly positive feedback from the many different groups represented there, with almost 40 different groups turning out to the first meeting at Southport Police Station. We also have a number of very active neighbourhood watch groups in Southport, all of which continue to successfully liaise with the police on issues affecting local residents. And I know at the last neighbourhood watch meeting I attended in Parkwood, the local police were pleased to report that there had been a significant drop in crime over the last 12-18 months as a result of that group's activities and their cooperation in working with the local police. Law and order issues are a priority for my constituents, and this bill affirms the LNP's commitment to getting tough on crime. There can be no excuse, and nor should there be any leniency towards allowing people to function in this way. Mr Deputy Speaker, would you like me to move that we adjourn for dinner? I've still got a minute. Okay. Well, I'll wrap up. We will not tolerate criminals reaping the rewards of their illegal activities. We will not tolerate drug traffickers increasing the burden placed on our health and justice system by the illegal drug trade. We're getting tough on crime and fulfilling our pre-election commitments. Mr Deputy Speaker, I'm pleased to stand in the House this evening and I commend this bill to the House.
Can I ask you to move that the